Good day, ZEFilms here. That's me, or Alan, whatever. Back with another unboxing video. It's the Eaglemoss. As you can already tell by the title, you already know what we're going to be unboxing. Let me start off by saying I am sorry that I've kind of dropped off on these videos. I know people really enjoyed the unboxing videos and seeing my pretty little face on camera. Personal life has kind of kicked me in the balls a little bit. So much that I don't want to get into it on camera. I am very much trying to keep my private life private, but it sucks. It has sucked for a couple of months, and hobbies like this sometimes need to take kind of just be put on the back burner while you kind of just focus on yourself and loved ones and stuff like that. So I do apologize. I do hope you understand. But it's life. You got to do what you got to do sometimes to kind of make sure you're taking care of number one in your life. So definitely been doing that, and I'll leave it at that. So as you may know, we had the ending of season 2 of Discovery a little while ago, and with that we had the introduction of the USS Enterprise to Star Trek Online, and I had the awesome opportunity to create an official video for them, for their channel. And while there was a lot of complaining in the comment section about the means of how you get the ship, it was a huge honor for me to have been able to work on something like that in an official capacity. So I will be able to release that video on my channel in a couple of weeks. That's just part of like agreements behind the scene and all that. But that was a huge moment for me. So it was really crazy. And now we're going to be doing the unboxing video for that ship. I'm going to start off by saying that this was not given to me by Eaglemoss. This ship I purchased out of my own money because I really wanted the ship. And so yeah, this is not sponsored. I do have 2 more boxes up in my closet that I need to do unpacking for that Eaglemoss had sent to me. One of them is the Cleve ship, and the other one is another Federation ship. I think it was, the Shepherd class. So I'll have those videos out shortly when I get time. So yeah, let's go on to the unboxing. So here we are. I actually got this from my local comic book store. So it came in a bag with box and magazine. Magazine has a lot of stuff that we're going to go through during the middle portion of the video. I'm going to put the ship on the turntable, and we'll get the full 360 from the side and from above. And I'm going to read some excerpts from this magazine for just kind of information behind the designing of this Enterprise, because I know there's a lot of I want to say controversy, but that seems a little extreme. But there was a lot of comments like how the ship should have remained like the original from the 60s, and they do make mention about that in this magazine that I will talk about briefly. Before we go to the turntable, I'm just going to show you like a size comparison of this ship. So here's my hand, here's the ship, and that's how it looks. So it's a fair-sized ship. The majority, I want to say 75% of this is plastic. The top of the saucer is metal. The underside is plastic, and then the rest, the neck, I think the neck is plastic. No, I think the neck is metal as well. The engineering section, the hull is plastic. The nacelle struts, the nacelles are plastic. So it's very front heavy, as you can see. So you want to really make sure that you really get the plastic piece into the stand so it doesn't flop over on you. But yeah, there it is in the stand. So let's go over to the 360 view and take a look at this in 360 as I talk about stuff from the magazine. Let's do that now. The Discovery USS Enterprise NCC-1701 is a Constitution class that was launched in 2245 with a length of 442.06 meters. The ship was captained by Christopher Pike. As Star Trek Discovery approached the end of its first season, the art department got a fateful call. They had heard rumors that the original Enterprise would appear in Season 2, but now the decision had been made to bring it forward to the season finale. Before our production designer Todd Charnowski left, John Eaves remembers, "He gave us the Enterprise," he goes. "We have had an Enterprise coming up, and that's your next task." By this point, the art department had established as a small team of 3. Eve's job was to produce initial sketches, which he then passed to Scott Schneider, who turned them into 3D models. Eves would normally paint extra detail on these before handing them on to William Budge, who would work on the final level of texture and details, including the position of all the necessary tech and the exact scale of the model. Initially, Eves remembered there was a suggestion that the Enterprise might look very different to Matt Jeffries' original version, and would have a design that was more in keeping with the other ships in the Discovery era, but this idea was soon abandoned. Instead, the brief was to come up with Discovery's version of the original. Eves started the process by producing a series of sketches showing how the classic ship could be altered. Alphabetically, I did versions A through J. The sketches were all pretty much the same. It was about streamlining the look of the ship. A couple of things increase and a couple of things decrease. It was just about working on the form to get as close as possible to the original and yet have the sleek, unique Discovery look to it. F was my favorite, and that wound up being the one that Todd liked the most. The team decided that the Enterprise they were designing would literally be the same ship Kirk would command, just at an earlier stage in its life. Their theory was that various components such as the warp nacelles or the impulse engines would be replaced over time, so they set about designing more primitive versions of them. We were trying to do things that implied it could transition to the original Matt Jeffries ship later on, Eves explained. We wanted to create links with ships that had come before. For example, we had rotated the exhaust ports on the back of the nacelles 90 degrees inward. On the Phoenix, those had faced each other like that, and I thought that was really cool artistically. Once Eves had completed his sketches, he passed them to Schneider, who created the first 3D model. Scott started immediately, Eves said. "Usually you send sketches in and it's a long time before you start to see a model process begin, but this was immediate." As Schneider worked on the model, he added to Eves' original design, trying to include subtle details that could be found on the other Starfleet ships. We were constantly trying to tie into both the past and future architecture of Starfleet ships. It was a really fun part of the whole process. We tried to tie in stuff into the NX-01 and stuff that would come in the future, like the Enterprise B. So on the bottom of the impulse engines, it had these little vent details that you'd see on the bottom of the B. There are little things that we did along the way where we were adding details in to try and keep it as close to the original as possible. In the beginning, we had the ball on the back of the nacelles, like they did on the version they built for the cage. Later on, we got into a meeting with Tamara and we discussed it, and I said, really, time-wise, we should be doing this. So we put the grills in there instead. One of the areas that the team thought particularly hard about was the bridge. As Schneider explains, most of the Discovery-era ships have a window at the front where the view screen is, but Jeffries' design has a distinctive curved area. I told John early on that I really didn't want to mess with this shape up there, but they liked having windows at the front of the bridge, so I came up with the idea that this panel here had transparent aluminum. During battle mode it would go opaque, and during exploration mode it would go transparent, and then you could see the window behind it. Schneider even built a basic model of the bridge, which you could see through the transparent section. Eves had designed 2 other Enterprises, but for him, this stands out as one of the highlights of his career. This was really an honoring project, he says. How often do you get to take a Jeffries design and work it? On a scale of it being a very rare and fantastic treat to do, I think we all thought this was probably a 12. It was really a very fun thing to do. I couldn't have been more thrilled about how this turned out. Just watching what William and Scott were doing the whole time was fantastic, and I thought the finished project was just immaculate. Alright, so that's it for the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Check out my cinematic work. I created my own kind of fan version of an opening of Star Trek Pike. It is a lot of ships or ship shots. You don't really see Captain Pike too much in it. If you're wondering why there isn't any like character references or faces in there, the video itself was shot in Star Trek Online. I try and avoid putting characters in fan videos. I was warned against it a couple of years back when I wanted to do the 50th anniversary video, and that actors have likeness rights, and so it's just a thing I want to try and avoid as much as possible. So I'll have a link to the fan-made intro down below if you want to check that out, and I also have a link to the official video that I made that's on the Star Trek Online page. And yeah, that is it. I love this ship. I think it's a fantastic design. I'm personally not upset about the difference between this and the TOS version. We're now in this time where Star Trek has had like this sudden resurgence, and it's an amazing time to be a Star Trek fan. So there might be things that you don't enjoy about Star Trek, but at the same time, let's just enjoy that we have Star Trek and it hasn't just fallen dead like after what happened with Star Trek Enterprise. Or was it Star Trek Enterprise, or is it just Enterprise? Enterprise. After that, it just kind of fell off. And then how many years later until we got the Kelvin, and then I think the Kelvin timeline stuff kind of sparked things. But anyway, I digress. I am totally off topic here. Yeah, I like the ship, and I'm happy to be a Trek fan right now, and with all the Trek stuff. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.